Hello guys, welcome to the channel. So in today's video we are going to be looking at this boom and crash scalping strategy, and of course this strategy is very accurate. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how the strategy works, and I'm also going to show you guys the settings for the strategy. Okay, so stay tuned, make sure you subscribe to this channel if you are new, like this video, and also turn on post notification anytime we post new strategy. You guys will be aware. Okay, so with that being said, let's proceed with the strategy. Okay, so the first thing we discuss is how the strategy works, then we dive into the settings for the strategy, and I'm going to show you guys what are the strategy we are dealing with. Now here on our main chart we have two indicators, and this two indicator is moving average. Okay, so the two indicator is the moving average, that is the indicator on our main chart. Now here on indicator window 1 we have the stochastic oscillator line and the moving average line as well. Okay, so that is the indicator we are going to be using for the strategy. Okay, so now let's talk about how the strategy works. Now when you want to use this strategy, there are some things that you want to consider before taking any trade using this strategy, and that thing is what I'm first going to explain, then we dive into how it works. Now if you are taking a trade with this strategy, the first thing you always want to make sure that you see is always want to see that this stochastic oscillator always touch the ordered line. You always touch the ordered line before you start thinking of taking any trade. You have to touch the what ordered line. That is very important. If you see all the moves happens here on boom, you will see that the stochastic oscillator always touch the ordered line. That is very important. Okay, so that's the first thing you want to pay attention to. Now the second thing you want to pay attention to when you are taking a trade with this strategy is the crossover. So we always want to see the crossover happens between the stochastic oscillator and the moving average, which happens right here. Okay, so you have to keep this in mind as well. So that's the second thing we always want to see before taking a trade with this strategy. Now the third thing is that when you are taking a trade with this strategy, now after you see your true confirmation, then you look into your main chart. Now what you're looking for, your main chart, is a spike from the price. Okay, you are looking for a spike from the price before you start thinking of looking for any setup, and this is the spike right here. So we want to see a spike. Anytime you see a trade, you always want to see a spike. Okay, that is very important. Okay, so after you see this spike right here, then the next thing you are looking for is your confirmation on your indicator window 1. Now after you see that as well, then the next thing we do is this confirmation here on our main chart. And what is that? We are looking for where there's a cross below the moving average, which happens right here. We always want to see a cross below on the moving average, which is right at this area. So this is also important as well. And for the zoom level of this strategy, we are using the second zoom level. Okay, so that's the zoom level we are going to be using for this strategy. Okay, once you zoom out completely, zoom in once, then zoom in twice. I'm sorry, so zoom in twice. That is the zoom level we are using for the strategy. So now let's talk about how the strategy now works and how you take a trade using this exact strategy. Okay, so I'm going to use this recent trade as an example. Now what is the first thing? The first thing we are looking for is a spike in the market, which is this spike right here. So that is the first confirmation we want to see. So the first confirmation right here. Now the second confirmation is, does the stochastic oscillator touch the other level? Yes, it touched the other level, and that's the second confirmation we are looking for. Now the third confirmation is, does the stochastic oscillator break below the moving average? Yes, it break below the moving average right here. So that is the third confirmation we want to see. Now the fourth confirmation is, after we see this confirmation on our indicator window 1, then the fourth confirmation is, does the moving average, does the price or the candle break below the moving average? Yes, it does break below the moving average, and that's the fourth confirmation, and this is all the confirmation we need for this strategy. And that's how we use this strategy to take a trade. It's very simple and very straightforward. Follow the rules step by step. Follow this one, this one, this one, and this one. So uh that is the confirmation you always want to use before taking any trade with this strategy. Now let me go to crash to show you guys another example, and I'm going to jump straight to crash 900 for example. Okay, so now if you're taking a trade with this strategy, always aim for 20, 30, 50 candles. That is the candle that you always want to aim for. Okay, so I'm looking for a better trade right here that is very neat. Okay, so this is all trade right here, but I'm looking for a clean trade to happen here on crash indices. Okay, so this is a recent trade from the price. This is a recent trade from the price right here. So let me show you guys how this trade happens. Now the first thing you want to see, which is the first thing, is can you see a spike? Yes, you can see multiple spike happens here in the uh chart, which is the first confirmation we need for this strategy. Now the second confirmation is the stochastic oscillator is below the 10 levels, is below the 10 levels right here. If it is below 10 levels, then that is the second confirmation you want to see when using a strategy. Now the third confirmation is, does the stochastic oscillator cross above the moving average? Does the cross happens between the moving average and the stochastic oscillator? Yes, it does, which is the third confirmation we are looking for. Now the fourth confirmation is, does a candle cross above the moving average? Yes, it does, and that is where we are now going to enter your trade. Now quick one, the fifth confirmation we want to see is that when we are waiting for at least four candles, we have to wait for first 4 candles before we start taking any trades. This is very important as well, and that is going to be the fifth confirmation we need for this strategy. Okay, so that is how we use this strategy, and that is how you take a trade with this strategy. Always look for at least 4 candles. I'm talking about this candle right here. This is the candle that was responsible for the cross above the moving average. So the first candle, the second candle, third candle, and the fourth candle. So you enter your trade at this candle right here. It's very simple and very straightforward strategy. Okay, so now let me show you guys the settings for the strategy. Now for the settings, the first thing you do is just click on this icon you are seeing at the top. So when you click on this icon, the first indicator is the moving average, and now we add this up, we click on this F icon right here. We search for moving average, and there's the parameters. Now the period is 10, shift is 1, method is exponential, apply it close, and for the style, use any color of your choice and click on save at the top. So that is the first confirmation. That is first indicator, sorry. Now the second indicator is the moving average as well. As we add this up, we click on this F1 right here. So we search for moving average, and this is the parameters. The period is 1, shift is 1, method is simple, apply it close, any style of your choice, and click on save. So that is the second indicator. And the third indicator is stochastic oscillator. Click on this F icon right here, search for stochastic oscillator, and this is the parameters. Now the K period should be 60, the D period should be 1, slowing should be 1, price speed is close, method is exponential, use any color of your choice, and click on save. Okay, so go back, and that is the third indicator. And the fourth indicator is the moving average, and now we add this up, you click on this F icon again, search for moving average, and this is the parameters. Now the period is 10, shift is 1, method is simple, apply to close, use any style of your choice, and click on save. So that is all settings you need for the strategy, and I hope you guys find this video helpful. Find this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on post notification. If I'm posting strategy, you guys will be aware. Thank you guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.